8 disturbing rzeczy na Doorbell camera footage. Może coś się będzie powtarzać? Nie wiem, bo to inny kanał, ale miejmy nadzieję, że nie. O. Willem Dafoe idzie z młotkiem.
This first doorbell camera footage was taken in broad daylight. A man in at least his 20s is seen selling candy door to door. The homeowner with the camera would open the door for the man. She would then proceed to make a purchase, with the actual transaction itself being shown. But shortly after, 3 more men revealed themselves.
Co jest?
They were armed and took advantage of the open door by robbing the woman in her own home.
O kurwa, ale gość też się zachował mocno średnio, że nie próbował pomóc zamknąć tego czy cokolwiek, tylko stwierdził, o chuj, dobra, ja stąd idę. Ale to smutne w sumie, że taką sytuację wykorzystali, no bo gość nie był zły sam w sobie. Miał dostać kulkę za obcą babę. Z faktycznie nie z ganem biegli.
The whole operation was a setup, with the man selling the candy being in on it.
Aha, dobra. On był zamieszany w to. Trochę zmienia postać rzeczy. Co za śmieć.
Start, the intention was to gain the homeowner's trust to get her to open her front door.
A już
so that
ludzie
they could...
zaczęli pisać. Bardzo dobrze zrobił, że poszedł. Nie ma co ryzykować własnego życia, no. Jak tam?
rob her at gunpoint. The men swiped some of her belongings and later rushed off.
Wszyscy
A few
uwierzyliśmy.
minutes before this footage was taken, a nearby house's doorbell camera would
Ja
capture the
pierdzielę.
same man, again seemingly attempting to sell candy. Although, being suspicious, this homeowner wouldn't open the door. Directly after this encounter, the man is shown going up to the house across the street to make another attempt.
Co
But this
jest?
homeowner would also not open the door.
No i dobrze.
The men involved were never caught by police.
Ja jebie, szkoda. Najgorzej, jak nie złapią.
This footage was captured on the night of March 7th, 2019.
Co on robi?
Shown is a man stepping on the
Podpala.
house's front porch and emptying an entire yellow fuel container just in front of the door. The man then attempts to light the fuel using a small lighter.
Na początku myślałem, że na jakąś sól sypie. Taka jakość. Nie wiem, co to jest za pojebaństwo. Nawet maski nie założył. No większość z nich to są kretyni.
After failing to catch the fuel on fire, the man gives up and just walks
Nie udało mu się podpalić. No i dobrze.
away. As it turns out, he had mistakenly used diesel fuel rather than regular gasoline. And while gasoline is extremely flammable, diesel fuel is much less so.
Co za
Had
debil,
the man
dieslem
used
polał.
gasoline, and he would have no doubt started the house, along with himself, on fire. In the house at the time was a mother and her 2 children. When the mother saw the footage, she would call the police, who would later identify and arrest the man in his house just across the street. The woman claimed she didn't know the man, and had no idea why he would want to harm her and her family. When questioned why he did it, the man
Są
claimed he had seen
podpalacze,
a
którzy chyba po prostu randomowo dla własnej chorej uciechy to robią. Niestety, nawet nie musisz im jakoś zawinić.
ghost and was trying to get rid of it, suggesting he was most likely under the influence of something.
Jaki to kanał? Kanał
He was
Chilling
later
Scares.
charged with attempted homicide and arson. On February 2, 2022, a contractor in Houston was working at a townhome. At around 6 p.m., the contractor claimed an unknown man that was armed and wearing a mask suddenly appeared inside the townhome with him. The unknown man proceeded to force the contractor into a bathroom, where he then tied him up by bounding his feet and hands. Afterwards, he rummaged through the townhome for over an hour, all the while listening to a police scanner to verify the police weren't on their way. And this footage captured exactly that.
Co jest? O jebany, ten trochę kurwa bardziej pomyślał niestety.
After taking multiple items belonging to the homeowners, who were out of town at the time, the man found the contractor's keys and drove off with his truck that now contained everything that he had stolen. The man was never found by police. However, the stolen truck was. It was found 2 days later, unoccupied in a nearby restaurant parking lot. But ever since, nothing else has been found.
Żadnego materiału DNA nie zostawił nawet? Porąbane.
This doorbell footage was recorded in the early morning hours of July 26th, 2019. While it's not visible in the footage itself, the house just next to the one with the camera had been completely set on fire. And because of how close the houses were, this made the house with the camera at risk of also being set on fire. Shown in the video are some of the other neighbors desperately trying to warn the homeowners of the threat.
Mili sąsiedzie.
If their house is on fire.
I know, I'm knocking on the door. There's nobody answering.
A tu się okazuje, że to on podpalił tę chatę i teraz się wpierdala kogoś zabić, a to była tylko dystrakcja.
Can I help you?
The house next door to you is on fire. Your house is almost on fire.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Fortunately, the loud banging was enough to alert the homeowners to the situation. From there, they would get all the children out of the house as quick as possible. They were then brought to one of the neighbors' houses across the street, far enough away from the fire. But other than some damage to the trees and part of the garage, the house with the doorbell camera was ultimately left untouched.
Ażbym nie odbierał go z powrotem.
This footage captured an unknown man walking up to the front door of this house. Right away, he leans against the door and tries to open it. He doesn't even knock.
To widzieliśmy
but the
chyba.
doorbell camera alerts the homeowner of motion being detected, so the homeowner still gets up to see who it is. Before asking any questions, the homeowner opens the door to see what the man wants.
Ta.
Then, without
Tu
any
goś
hesitation,
wszedł,
the man
kurwa, nie wiem
steps
jak go
inside the house.
wpuścił typ,
It's the
pojebany.
leaves,
Wyprosił go.
forcing the homeowner to have to physically push him out of the house.
Czej. I pyk. Pojebany on był.
The middle. This video was taken on the night of August 10th, 2021. A woman is seen returning home from work. She unlocks her door and walks
Kurwa
in.
mać, pojeby.
But before she can close it again, a man that was armed
To też
enters her home
widzieliśmy.
just behind her.
Ale
Shortly
takich
after,
sytuacji
another man
niestety
can be
jest dużo.
seen.
Przy otwieraniu drzwi od razu
The two would
kurwa się
demand the
ładują.
keys to the woman's car, and after she gave it to them, they would run back outside to where her car was parked, where they would then drive off with it.
Straszne to jest.
This happened in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oho.
It's the middle of the night, and this was captured on one homeowner's doorbell
Kurwa,
camera.
jaki ma młotek.
A man armed with an actual sword, a
Miecz
hammer, and
ma?
an axe walks up to the front porch. He then proceeds to steal multiple items outside of the house.
O chuj, soulsiarz. Co on kurwa robi? A nawet chodzi dziwnie. Opętany.
At one point, a car drives by, but the man completely ignores it. After a while, he walks off with his bag filled with stolen items.
Dobra, umówmy się, 99% kierowców nawet by tego po prostu nie zauważyło, a nawet jakby w życiu nie reagowało, bo by się martwiło o samych siebie.
After a while, he walks off with his bag filled with stolen items, the sword still being held under his arm. While at work, a man in Florida would receive a message on his phone saying someone rang his doorbell.
Oho,
When he checked the live feed, this is what he saw.
okej.
A man wearing a hat, sunglasses, and bandana is standing at the front door.
Bandana.
And disturbingly, he's holding a handgun in clear view of the camera.
O kurwa, po prostu ze zganem
The
stoi.
doorbell's audio system would ask the man
Witamy
to
na
leave a message
Florydzie.
for the homeowner, and he does. He claims he lost his dog and wants to look in the homeowner's backyard for it.
Mega pomysł. Dlatego warto trzymać gana, no? Jak się pyta o to. Mega legit. No scam.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, You can do it now.
Hey, just wondered if you guys saw a lost puppy. He's a pit bull. Blue nose. I believe he came in your yard, but I don't want to look without your permission.
Niebieski nos. What the fuck? Nie widziałem psa z niebieskim nosem.
Hey, you at the wrong house, dog.
Alright.
After the homeowner came on the speaker and confronted the man, he quickly left with no questions asked. As it turns out, this wasn't the only house he did this to. Police would state that they had gotten multiple calls with the same description of the man and the exact same story. The man was most likely trying to get homeowners to open their door,
Ta,
where
i
he
to
could
k***a
threaten them
bait na psa, co za chuj.
with his gun, and from there do
Współczucie
who
chciał
knows what.
wzbudzić, dostaje
In
się
this
i kurde z
specific
ganem
case, he
rozruba.
most likely didn't realize the doorbell camera could see his firearm from where he
Ale
was
to
standing.
jest beka fest, że to są tacy debile, że on myśli, że tego nie widać. Na przykład albo pogada, albo że stoi poza kadrem, a wszystko widać. Tak jak ta laska w jednym z poprzednich nagrań, która wchodziła gdzieś od balustrady, tak od boku, byleby nie być złapanym. Całą ją było widać.
Which explains why he would be holding it out in the open by his side. Police weren't able to identify the man because of everything he had covering his face.
Gorlok jakiś tam.
Therefore, he has yet to be caught.
Dobra, lecimy dalej, kurde.
Had just gotten back from walking her dog. Her doorbell camera shows her starting to take off the dog's leash when she looks over to the right, causing her to quickly pick up her dog and get inside. Immediately, we find out why. A man comes into frame and walks right up to the front door. He tries the handle, but she managed to lock it just in time. The man then starts putting on gloves, and she also mentioned how he was carrying zip ties.
O
He looks into
chuj.
the house and tries the door handle multiple more times within the next few minutes. Eventually, her neighbor comes outside. To this, the man picks up a nearby garden hose and acts like he's doing yard work.
Udaje.
Once the neighbor left, the man walks around to the house's back door.
Camera recording.
Usłyszał to i poszedł. Co za chuj. Nie wiem, sam fakt, że już na posesji jest, nie? Na trawniku czy coś. Kurwa, to już creepy.
He tried forcing the back door open,
Ja się nie
to
dziwię,
which the
że
homeowner
dobrze,
locked
że od razu
herself in a room and
spierdoliła.
called the police. In the time it took them to arrive, the man tried breaking in almost every window to the house.
Co jest?
He broke off the screen to one of the back windows,
Jak mu
but
zależało.
was ultimately unsuccessful at getting inside. By the time police arrived, he had left. There wasn't much the police could do by that point. The homeowner ended up posting the video to TikTok in the hopes that someone could identify
Obsesja,
the man.
kurwa.
As far as I could find, no one could.
No nie, to się zgadzam, widzu. Najbardziej przerażające jest to, że jak taka sytuacja dojdzie i dobra, jesteś safe, ale na przykład go nie złapią, nie zamkną na dłużej, no to masz wrażenie, że każdego dnia, o każdej minucie może się pojawić. Każde drzwi trzeba sprawdzać 30 razy. Cholera wie, czy po prostu nie zbije ci szyby i się nie włamie, nie zrobi ci czegoś. Czy kurde, każde wyjście z domu do auta będzie cię stresowało. Pokurwione to jest, trzeba się wyprowadzać. Niestety.
10-year-old Graydon Dowland is a kid from Riverton, Utah. It was around 6 p.m. on a night in December. He was alone walking home from basketball practice this night.
Jakiś dzieciak.
At some point during his walk, he noticed a four-door sedan driven by two men slowly lurking around behind him.
O chuj.
Graydon said he started walking faster when he saw it. Then the car drove up right next to him. The men inside rolled down their windows and told Graydon they had candy in the back seat, trying to entice him inside.
No, ja mam nadzieję, że tu będzie szczęśliwe zakończenie i dzieciak dostał normalną lekcję od matki. Każdy rodzic mówi, nie bierz cukierków od nieznajomych. Klasik, to jest pojebane.
This happened only blocks away from his house. He ignored the men and only started to walk even faster away from them. A few seconds pass, and he makes it to his house's front porch. His family's house had a doorbell camera, and as Graydon approached, you're actually able to see the car in the background. He
Ale
continues
jeszcze
to look over
stali.
at it as he walks up to the
Jeszcze
front door.
patrzyli, kur...
He tries the front door handle, but realizes it was locked. At the exact same time, the
Zaczęli
car's reverse
cofać!
lights turn on and it starts heading towards him.
O kurwa! Ty dobra, to jest kurwa pojebane.
Graydon yells out and quickly
Zaczął się
grabs
drzeć.
nearby
Dobrze.
rocks to defend himself.
Dobrze, bo zwraca to uwagę,
He then
kurwa.
runs to his next door neighbor's house. Their
Ja
door was
pierdolę.
unlocked, so he let him
Ale to stresujące było. Łapiesz za klamkę, nie masz klucza zamknięte, a akurat ty jakieś pojeby za tobą jechał.
himself in and
No
immediately
właśnie.
locked it behind
Ale no
him.
mądrze się zachował.
The car can then be seen turning around and following him.
Odmówił,
For the
wydarł
next
się,
several
pobiegł do
minutes, the
sąsiadów.
car lurks around the area waiting for Graydon to come back outside.
Jeszcze czekali na niego.
Police were called and a report was made. Graydon described the men as being in their 30s or 40s with no facial hair. Both Graydon's family and the police have almost no doubt in believing the men were trying to kidnap him that
No na
night.
pewno, kurwa, niestety. Ale ograł ich młody, dobrze.
This clip shows a mother and her kids quickly packing their belongings in response to an evacuation notice.
Dobra, co to jest za kolor? Ty, co, nie wiem, Raccoon City atomówka? Dziebła? Co tu się dzieje?
It happened in Canyon County, California, around the time a wildfire was raging across the area. In the back of the footage, you can see it. Fire and smoke loom
Ale
over the neighborhood and the hills
pojebane.
behind. They pack as fast as they can, but they don't know how much time they have. Eventually, a man runs across the street, warning the family that the fire was coming up.
No to zapieprza przy takiej, kurde, skali i sile. Kurwa, no jeszcze
They
tego
finally
brakowało,
leave
żeby
the
dziecko
neighborhood,
gdzieś uciekało.
evacuated to safety at a nearby hotel. A few days later, the fire around the home died down, and they were able to return and survey the damage. Somehow, their house remained untouched,
S?
although the same can't be said for others in the neighborhood. Multiple nearby homes were completely destroyed by the fire.
Pity.
This video was uploaded to TikTok in order to warn others to be aware of their surroundings.
O.
In the video, the uploader, who was a mother named Jojo, and her son Daniel are returning home late at night. They open the front door and go inside. Once they close the door behind them, a man can be seen in the frame, walking up to the house. He immediately tries opening the door.
To było? Ja tego nie pamiętam. Ja pierdolę. To jest pojebane. A tak, bo on wyglądał jak Anonymous. Teraz pamiętam. Chore gówno. No patrz ten ryj!
June of 2021, a woman posted a set of Ring camera videos to the internet. She explained how her mother had recently installed 2 Ring cameras around their house.
Jakbym miał dom, to bym miał wszędzie, kurwa, kamery. Wszędzie, w każdym pokoju, kurwa.
First few nights of having the
każdym
cameras,
oknie.
her phone would get spammed with motion detected
I to
notifications.
pancerne jakieś.
She reviewed them, and this is what she saw.
W łazience też? A jakby było okno, to tak.
It was 2 a.m. on January 1st, 2022, when a few houses down, the giant explosion goes off.
Co jest? Kurwa! Ale pierdolnęło!
The explosion was reported to have been caused by a gas appliance that wasn't fully shut off. Fortunately, no one was in the home when it happened. In fact, there were no injuries resulting from the incident. However, the damage was extensive. Not only did the house suffer major structural damage, but flying debris hit nearby buildings as well. Residents in the apartments across the street reported blown-out windows from the explosion. Parked vehicles also were damaged. The authorities received multiple calls immediately after the explosion went off.
Dom z kartonu? Ta La Casa de Papel. Ludzie myślą, że to taka przenośnia, nie, to o domach z Ameryki.
This video was uploaded to TikTok in September of 2022. The uploader said it was about 3 a.m. when his doorbell camera captured a man walking across the street. He walks directly towards the house's front porch and eventually right up to the camera, at which point you can see the man is wearing some kind of mask with a drawn-on mustache.
Ur. O kurwa mać, nie? Co jest? Zostaw mnie.
homeowner eventually woke up from all the notifications on his phone. He sees the man looking inside through his windows and trying to open his door.
O chuj mu chodzi?
To
Połowa z
this,
nich
he
to
immediately threw on
ćpuny,
some
no to
clothes
wiesz.
and went outside to confront the man.
Ujebane jebańce. Kurwa, poszła z kijem golfowym. Z igiem-ka. No to ma taki vibe, no I'm not a human, no? Tylko IRL.
When he didn't find him, he opted to call the police and send in a report. Likely nothing came of this. The uploader never gave an update, but considering the man was wearing a mask, he probably won't ever be identified.
Ja pieprzę. Go next.
Somebody was trying to break into their house, and the woman was home alone. The man immediately walked across the street to his neighbor's house, but didn't see anything suspicious. When he came back, he saw that his neighbor had sent him this clip.
Co to kurwa jest? Czy gość myśli, że go nie widać, czy on jest po prostu tak nafurany? Dzięki Tomcze za suba. Sprawdził, zamknięte i poszedł popieprzeniec. Wyobraź
The
sobie,
video
raz drzwi
shows a
otwarte
shirtless man
zostawisz.
crawling up the stairs
Sprawdzam, czy on zamknięte.
to the front entrance of the house, and the video shows a shirtless man crawling up the stairs to the front entrance of the house and attempting to open the door. Realizing it's locked, he walks back down the stairs and makes his way to the side of the house. After viewing the footage, the
Skinwalker.
man immediately called 911, and 10 minutes later, 4 officers arrived in the neighborhood with a canine unit to help track down the intruder. What followed was an intense game of cat and mouse involving the neighbors, the police, and the shirtless man. Although he was spotted by the neighbors multiple times, he managed to slip away from the cops every single time. Several minutes into the search, the man heard his neighbor calling from across the street, saying that he could hear someone in his backyard. The two men scoured the outside of the house and eventually found that the back porch light had been unscrewed, but the shirtless man was nowhere to be seen.
Lampkę
About an
zajebał.
hour later, the man who uploaded the video walked out onto his back deck and spotted the intruder unscrewing another porch light, this time from the house across the street.
Co to się kurwa?
With weapon in hand, the man intercepted the intruder and ordered him to get on the ground, but the shirtless man took off running and ended up sneaking into the
Uciekł.
crawl space of a nearby house.
O
The
kurwa.
uploader waited until the police arrived, and after he was ordered out of the crawl space, the intruder was charged with 2 counts of aggravated
No i bardzo
burglary,
dobrze,
trespassing, public intoxication, and disorderly conduct.
O, publiczne
Police
odurzenie.
revealed that the
Kto by się
subject was under
spodziewał?
the influence of hard drugs, and had an outstanding warrant for failing to appear in court for another open case of burglary from earlier that same year. It's unclear if he was convicted of all the charges against him, but considering his criminal history, it's more than likely that he's still serving time today. In 2022, a Reddit user uploaded this disturbing Ring camera footage with the caption, "Zombies want your brain."
Co
The
jest
video
kurwa?
shows a young man in a bandana covered in what appears to be dirt or blood,
Ale jak
repeatedly
się
slamming
dobija!
himself into the front door of a house.
Jak wyważyć próbuje?
On his third attempt to break down the door, he apparently knocks himself out after hitting his head. Stumbling after the impact, the man collapses over the front porch railing, knocking over an ornament in the process.
Co ty gadasz? Kurwa, karma instant. Co za zjeb.
He groans in pain as he flails his arms and raises his legs, seemingly trying to get back on his feet, but the video ends before we can see what happened next. After the footage was uploaded, many viewers commented that the man was probably under the influence of hard drugs, which would explain his uncoordinated movements and violent behavior. Other users suggest that he might have had a seizure after hitting his head on the door, but because the video was
Kurwa, jakoś mi go nie szkoda.
uploaded with no context or explanation, it's impossible to confirm what actually happened. After that night, the homeowner never saw the man again.
No sorry, kurwa.
On July 24th, 2021, a woman named Caitlin Curtis took her baby to the park across the street from her house in Arizona. After sitting down on the bench next to a fountain, a scruffy-looking man suddenly approached her, sat on the bench next to her, and asked her if she wanted to buy his drawings. According to Caitlin, the drawings looked like they had been drawn by a little kid, or by someone with no artistic talent.
What the shit?
After politely refusing to buy the drawings, she got up and left the park with her baby in the stroller. As she was leaving, she saw the man get into the passenger seat of a suspicious-looking truck at the other end of the park, which then circled around her several times as she made her way back home. Afraid that she was being followed, Caitlin took a different route back to her house and entered through the back door so that the men in the truck wouldn't know where she lived. 3 days later, when Caitlin was out of town, her doorbell camera captured the same man walking up to the front door of her house and ringing the doorbell at 3.
Mać. Jakiś kurwa creep stalker. Normalny to on nie jest, to na pewno. Co on trzyma? Może te rysunki, kurwa. Dalej. Co on robi? Lampy se dotyka? Dobra, nie, on jest nafurany jak chuj, no. Dziury w mózgu.
According to Caitlin, her husband was asleep while the whole thing was happening, and he didn't learn about the man's visit until the next day. After the video was uploaded to TikTok, some users commented that the fact that the man rang her doorbell specifically was not a coincidence, and that he might have been watching her from the day they met in the park. It's possible that he was using the drawings to try and distract her, while the other man in the truck abducted her child, but we'll likely never know his intentions for sure. The incident could just be written off as a man who was under the influence of drugs or suffering from mental illness, but if Caitlin hadn't been careful, it's anyone's guess what might have happened. Fortunately, the man never came back, and neither Caitlin nor her family had seen him again. In October 2021, Reddit user Protomancer uploaded this footage of a man crawling and slithering through his neighbor's yard in the middle of the night.
Gdzie, kurwa, czekaj. Ty. Idzie tu, kurwa, dżdżownica.
There doesn't appear to be any context surrounding the video, but most users attributed the man's particular behavior to drug use or possibly mental illness. Even though he isn't hurting
No co ty gadasz? Zupełnie trzeźwe i normalne zachowanie. Nie wiem o co chodzi.
anybody, this is probably not the type of person you would want to run into
Kurwa,
on your
kto
way
by tak czasami nie chciałby, wiesz, taniec robaka przez chodnik nocą. No.
back from home in the middle of the night.
Każdy ma swoje hobby,
The man in
nie?
the footage hasn't been identified, and it's unclear if he ever showed up again.
PD. O, ho, ho, ho. No i początek już mi się podoba, powiem szczerze, ja nie lubię klaunów. Nie lubię. Ocie kurluj.
In this first video, this house's Ring doorbell captured a man walk up to the front door in the middle of the night. But rather than actually knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell, the man pretends to do so. At first it seems odd,
What?
until you realize what's actually going on. Near the left side of the screen, a car's headlights can be seen. It's clear whoever is driving the vehicle is
Niego
making
ziomy?
this guy walk up and talk to the house owner for a seemingly sinister purpose.
O kurwa. Oni go zmusili, żeby on tam poszedł i on udaje, że puka, żeby ich ochronić. Być może on nie jest zły.
The guy obviously doesn't want to do it. I mean, so much so that he fakes knocking on the door and even fakes a conversation with the house owner, all the while making sure the driver can see him doing so.
Ja otworzę, a tam kurde, wiesz. Zaraz z auta kurwa dymy będą. dobrze odegrał, nie? Ale o co chodzi? Dowiemy się, kurde?
From the fake conversation, it's clear the driver wants the man to look for someone named Matt. One comment guessed the man could have been being forced to rob the place, but didn't want to do it, making him fake the whole situation and claim no Matt lived there. But to this day, the real motives of the driver are still unclear.
Dziwny w chuj.
This footage features a random woman walking up to someone's front door.
Jezu, jaki
The woman
ryj.
clearly isn't acting
Co
normal,
jest?
or at least
Jest zupełnie normalne.
until a car passes where she breaks character so as not to draw attention to herself. After the car is gone, the woman can be seen putting her face right up to the camera.
O kurwa, pałek, sacz! Opierdala ringa!
After watching the disturbing footage, the house owner would claim he had no idea who the woman was.
Dzięki, Baldus. Prime.
This doorbell camera video shows the horrifying early stages of a fire in a neighbor's property. As the video goes on, you can see as the fire gradually continues to grow, so much so that it eventually reaches the house with the doorbell camera.
Oj.
At the time of the fire,
Oi,
the house owner
oi, oi.
himself was asleep, though he would be woken up by multiple notifications on his phone claiming motion was detected by his doorbell camera. After reviewing the footage, the house owner would frantically run to get a fire extinguisher and desperately attempt to put the fire out.
Dlatego gaśnicą to może być ciężko, kurwa, wiesz? Ja pierdolę, stary. Spierdalaj backdoorem albo oknem i chuj. GG. Nie wiem, czy to coś da, stary. Kurwa, czemu sobie wyobraziłem, że on się myli dezodorantem, to gasi. Rozbawiło mnie to.
But after realizing it was too late, the house owner would escape through the house's back door. It's pretty safe to say that the motion detected notifications that woke up the house owner saved his life that night.
Panie pośle, co pan robi?
This video captured a woman frantically knocking on this house's front door.
To
As she
co
continues to
trzeba.
do so, she can be seen constantly looking behind her. And that's when you realize why. A man walks up to the woman and proceeds to grab her firmly, telling her to get into the car.
Co
All
jest?
the while, the woman can be heard pleading for him to stop.
To pewnie basic, kurwa. Aktorstwo. Chłop się znęca nad babą, otwierają, a oni we dwójkę. Co tam, kurwa?
Stop, please, no. No, 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 please. Stop.
The man in the video was later identified to be 20-year-old Victor
Albo jednak
Kucic,
nie.
and he would ultimately be charged with third-degree felony
Jednak
kidnapping.
prosiła o pomoc chyba.
This Ring doorbell starts off showing the house owner simply
Co
doing her laundry.
nagrane?
Though, before she can
Mental
even enter the
mojito.
laundry room, she can be seen pausing. And the audio from the clip makes it clear as to why.
Fujka, sam jesteś kurwa, fujka.
A voice can be heard desperately pleading for help. Though
Co to, kurwa,
it's
za głos?
unclear as to where the voice is coming from.
Oho.
Clearly disturbed, and worried it
Ze
could have been
ścian.
someone hiding around her property, the woman would end up calling the police.
I looked around. I didn't see anybody out on the road or any cars or anything. So I went back to my Ring video to make sure I wasn't just creatively hearing something.
I can hear somebody saying something, but I can't.
So, well, I posted it on there.
The police would search
Nie, no nie mogę. Powiedziałem widzowi, że sam jest fujka, on tak. Miałem ci akurat wysłać 500 zł, ale no co? O nie, to ja ci wyślę kurwa jeden dzień timeouta, żebyś zrozumiał, że mam to w dupie.
the whole property.
So, well, I posted it on there.
The police would search the whole property, but find absolutely nothing. And to this day, it's still unclear whose voice was talking, or even where it was coming from. This doorbell camera footage seems to have captured an almost transparent-looking figure walking across the house owner's property in the middle of the night.
No i duch.
The figure looks to have no face and seems to slowly become less visible as it continues to move. The audio from the video reveals the noise of very faint footsteps.
Stary Kamerka z 1915 roku.
After reviewing the footage and examining around the property, the house owner found nothing out of the ordinary,
Co jest?
and it's still unclear what exactly was caught on video that night.
Kurwa, pojebane, ile pod twoim
The
domem
owner of
może
this
się dziać, a
house
ty
would
nawet o
wake up
tym
to
nie
a
wiesz.
notification on his phone telling him motion was detected at his front door.
Oho,
And
crazy.
after reviewing the footage, this
Crazy
is what he
100%.
found. There was an old woman with a knife just
Crazy
standing
bitch.
at his front door, constantly shifting her body weight from side to side. The woman can be seen awkwardly holding and looking at the knife, as well as constantly glancing all around her.
Z nożem. Grani. Nie no. Co za spoko suka. Widzu, kurwa. Niezła suńka z tym nożem, nie?
After a few more seconds, the woman finally attempts to ring the doorbell, but seemingly can't bring herself to do it for whatever reason.
Ale to otwierasz drzwi i dosłownie dostajesz staba. Pojebane, to jest przerażające gówno. Babciu, uspokój się. Dzięki, Fusadek.
And after 2 minutes of footage, it cuts off. It's still unclear who this woman was, or what caused her to walk up to a stranger's front door wielding a knife.
Onka giga.
After hearing his doorbell go off, this San Diego house owner would look at his doorbell camera through his phone,
Pitbull.
and the camera revealed a supposed door-to-door salesman waiting outside. The house owner decided to confront the man with the doorbell speaker, and that's when the salesman claimed he was looking for the Robinsons' residence at 712, which was not the house he was at. After being informed of this, the salesman would politely
To jest bait
apologize
jak chuj? Nie, co ty? Normalnie pokazuje zwykłego ekspedienta przed domem. Na Creepy Scary Movies kanale.
for the mix-up.
This is the Robinson's residence at 712?
No, you're at the wrong
To
house.
Stachurski? To akurat nie jest Stachurski, to typ niepokorny.
Robinson's residence at 712?
No, you're at the wrong house. It's 721.
Oh, I apologize for that.
Co za debil.
Suspicious of the encounter, the house owner would send the footage to the local police department, who, disturbingly, confirmed that this exact man was suspected of breaking into at least 19 homes and impersonating a salesman to do so. The man has yet to be caught by police.
Szukajcie go. Złapcie
Likely
go.
taking place during the whole Killer Clown craze of
clown.
2016, this Ring doorbell caught the exact moment someone dressed in a clown costume walked up to its front door. The person can be seen tilting their head and slowly walking up to the door, almost
Jebany
the whole
pajac.
time staring directly into the camera. While it's most likely just someone trying to scare people, there's a small chance something a lot more sinister is going on here.
Nie da się tego potraktować normalnie i jako pranka, sorry. To wygląda zbyt strasznie. Jebany pojeb. No ale na jego miejscu, jak bym prankował, to bym jeszcze się jakoś zaśmiał, nie? Coś w tym stylu. No przydałoby się.
To this day, it's still unclear whether the house owner
No
experienced
nam to
anything
nie grozi, bo mistrz Śląska w MMA łapał klauna z Koszalina z DJ-em Paukersonem, także u nas bezpiecznie.
further regarding the situation.
O, popieprzone są te filmiczki. Popieprzone, stary. Dobrej nocy dla widzów z YouTube'a.